Hi there, welcome to my next video. Today I'm going to show you how I made these Halloween decorations or ornaments. And once again, I got them from this book off Amazon, Vintage Ephemera, Halloween, 300 pieces. Really neat book. And so these are finished. I did leave one that is not stained, so I can show you later how I did that. But for now, I'm going to finish this one. And so what we do here is, this is a piece of canvas. It's just a 5x7 canvas board that I've had. And what I did was I got some just brown craft packing paper and finished the back off and put a little stamp there just so it looks nice. And I didn't want it to have the canvas writing on the back. So we've got this here, and I've painted it in the pavement paint color that I use. And that is right here from, let's see, I'll use this one. I don't know where my other one is, but this one's, let's see. It is from Apple Barrel, and the color is called Pavement. So we've got that here, and then what I do is after that dries, I'm just going to sand around the edges a little bit. And the nice thing about this canvas is it's really durable, and so you can just sand and not worry about damaging it. I'm going to go ahead and do the middle too, even though I'm going to cover it up. So you can take off as much or as little paint as you want. And so we have that there. And then what we do is we take our image. This is a postcard image, really cute, and we crumple it up. And that takes some practice doing that. It's kind of hard because you feel like you're going to ruin the image, but it doesn't. And so what I like to do is I like to leave some of these creases, so I can sand just the tops of the creases really light. And I do try to stay away from any bold images, so I can still get the look that I want without taking away from the photo itself. And we can also do a little bit around the edges, so it looks kind of worn. Just a little bit, not too much. I've got a lot going on here, so I don't want to take away too much. Okay, so we have that, and then we get our glue. And our brush. So what we'll do is just glue this down. Anytime you're gluing images down, excuse me, you want to make sure you get a nice heavy coat. That way it will it'll glue down evenly, and there won't be any kind of bubbles or anything like that. This brush is terrible. I didn't rinse it well enough, so it's kind of drying on me. But that's just one of the hazards of crafting. Got to get your brushes rinsed well. Okay, so we take this all the way to the edge. The lid on the glue so it doesn't dry out on me. So we take this one here, and I want to make sure I did pre-drill some holes. I want to make sure that I get this on correctly. And so we'll just, and I kind of eyeball everything. I've been doing this a little while, so I can eyeball stuff pretty well. And then press that down. Make sure you get all of the air bubbles out and wrinkles. You know, it's still gonna have a wrinkled look, which is fine, but you don't want to get any of the any wrinkling in there. So sometimes you can take it into the light and check your work. So that looks pretty good. Okay, next is the wire, and I have this wire here. It is a 19 gauge. I've used a thicker wire and I don't like it because it's too hard to twist on the ends. So this 19 gauge is pretty good. You get a lot of it. The only thing I would suggest that each time you take a piece that you get a cloth and wipe it down, because of, I guess, I don't know if it's the manufacturing or the materials that they use. There can be a little bit of like a finish on that, and so we'll take that off. So what we'll do here is we'll just poke this through these pre-drilled holes like that. And then we got that one in there. That one's going to be a little crazy because the end is crooked. And I'll give it a lot of extra space so I can work. Take my needle nose pliers. And I go kind of right on the tip so I don't get too wide of a turn. And I go 3 times. Just pinch it. Pinch it really good and twist. No big deal. 2, and then 1 more. And then what I'll do is I'll turn up this edge. The one thing I will suggest, pretty important, is if you're working with wire, always make sure that you get that sharp end piece turned into the product itself as much as possible. You don't want any sharp edges out, especially if you're going to be selling your projects. And so just make sure that, you know, everybody's safe and all that kind of stuff. And if you just get your pliers and scrunch it together, it brings that end of that wire in pretty good for you. But so then what I do is I just fold that, and then I fold that one, and that's pretty good. So there's no sharp at all. That's what we want. You can take the wire and kind of bend it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and so next what we want to do is take some aging medium, and I use the Hello Hobby. I don't know where I got this, maybe Walmart or somewhere. And it's antiquing wax, and it's, I don't know what color it is. I'm assuming it's like a walnut. Yeah, it is from Walmart. Like a walnut. It's one of my favorites to use for aging. And you don't want to go heavy on this. You want to make sure that it is just a little light coverage. Let's see here. I have a little bit on a plate already. And just go around the edges a little bit. So everywhere that I've sanded, what it's going to do is it's going to age that so it's not the white canvas showing through. And I'll get that all along there. You can also bring it in a little bit. And it already naturally has aging. That's just the nature of the images. And so I've sanded that a little bit. I might do a little bit of staining on that just to get that going. And a little bit more there. Pretty subtle, nothing too crazy. I don't like to darken it up too much. And there we go. Okay, so we got that. So far looking pretty good. Next step is the ribbon. So I have here it's a mesh, and it comes on a roll like this. Probably any craft store, I guess you can get it from. I don't know where I got mine. I've had it for a while. And then here's some pre-made ribbon from Cotton Muslin. In one of my previous videos, I go through how I did that. And let's see here. So we'll take that. Doesn't matter if it's the top or bottom, either way. And I kind of take it to the edges a little even. And so you just take it like this and tie it around this corner here. And I don't tie it down really tight. What I like to do is leave a little bit of working space for my hot glue. Okay, so we'll go down just a little bit. And before I close it, I like to get the hot glue in there. So let's see here. So do just a little bit. A word of caution, anytime you're working with mesh and hot glue, it can be a killer for a project, because if the hot glue gets on this mesh, you're pretty much going to have to start over, because it doesn't come off, because it's, you know, polyester. And so when I hot glued that, you notice that I held this together. I don't like to tie my knots too tight, because it just, you can't work with it too much, and I want to keep this from moving around. So I hold that corner down just a few seconds. Okay, and my next step here is a bow. What I did was I took my ribbon, don't know where my ribbon is right now. I took my ribbon, it's just maybe a 1-inch mesh ribbon, and I did the, you know, the flip over method, and then got a little piece of this sisal in black and tied it in the middle. I could have hot glued it, but then I'm going to be working with hot glue and mesh, and it's just not going to work. So by tying this sisal here in the middle, I'm able to cinch it together pretty good. And so what I do here is I take my hot glue to the back, and just keep an eye on where you're putting it, because you don't want it to seep out. Whoops. You don't want it to seep out on you. And yes, the ribbon's going to flop around a little bit. Just get it where you want it and pick it up and hold it down. Okay, so I got a little bit of strands of hot glue on there. Okay, next is the button and tag. Okay, so that's pretty good, pretty solid on there. And peel the fingers away. So see, it's all nice and clean in the back. There's a little bit of hot glue there. Par for the course, not a big deal. Finished product always kind of, you can overlook that stuff. Okay, so then I have a button here. I get my buttons from a swap meet that I go to, and I get a really good price on bulk buttons. Also, Walmart has a plastic jar full of wooden buttons. They're all unfinished wood buttons. They're fantastic. I've had mine for so long, and I've used them on so many projects. I still have a ton left over. So anyways, I took some thread, and I like to use this kind of thread. I guess it's stitching thread, I don't know, but it's got a thickness to it, and so I don't have to go round and round in circles with regular sewing thread. So I just do one little hoop through there. Let's see, like that, just one. I don't tie it, I don't do anything like that. It takes away from the time that I allow myself to finish these. And so I hold that down like that, and then you get your hot glue right there, and put that button down there like that, and hold it again for a few seconds. Clean anything up that you need to clean up. So, okay, while that is setting, I'm going to use this tag, also from the book, really cute. It's like an old a witch and a crow. Oh my gosh, look at these little those little mushrooms, and I think those are frogs. How adorable is that? Oh my gosh, so cute. So cute. Okay, so again with the sisal here, and if you're doing a big project like this, pre-cut everything with the same amount, and I use just a ruler I've got these, I cut them all out, cut all the ribbon out the same, everything the same, and you get a little assembly line going. It took me a while to figure that out. When I started doing craft shows and farmers markets, I would spend a lot of time putting things away, taking things out, doing one thing at a time, until I realized that I can do an assembly line, and that cut down on how much time I spent doing this. So okay, and we just loop that through, pretty standard loop. And so what we do is tuck this behind the ribbon like that. Normally I work in my lap, so it's a little bit different for me, but that's fine. It's funny because you have all this space, big craft table and everything, and 9 times out of 10 you got so much stuff on your craft table you end up working on your lap. But oh, that worked out. Okay, so let's see, let's get a little bit of this cleaned up, and that guy there. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I'm happy with it. Little button, see, there's a little bit of hot glue. And then the back is nice, and that can be hung. Can you hang it on a wall or on a mantle? You can also hang it on, if you have a Halloween tree, it's not too big. I think it would look really cute in the center of a tree. But I just absolutely love these. I'm having so much fun making them. And yeah, so anyway, so there's that one. And then I wanted to show you how I stained this last one. So I get my wax, that same antiquing wax, a little bit of water, and you don't want to do too crazy on this. What I do with these ones, because I use this raw paper here, I did, after I glued everything down, I sprayed it with a clear coat. If you don't spray it with a clear coat, what happens when you use this wax or any kind of acrylic paint to give it age, it kind of muddles up the paper a little bit, and you can't really blend it out too well, so that polyacrylic spray will give you a nice surface to work on. And if you need to like lift any color up, you can do that. But just start really light. Don't go heavy at all. And I like to go around the edges just to test where I'm at. So I'm liking that so far. So I can go in a little bit more. And we'll go back for a little bit. And you know, you can't really mess up. I mean, I did a little bit of a thing there. Not a big deal. Just blend it out. You know, nobody really knows what plans you had for this project, and the finished project ends up looking so neat that people don't even notice stuff, you know. So I hope you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, a little bit of aging in there, and you can do like some little spots if you want. Get around that wire, and then underneath this tag, don't want to forget that. Whoop. I didn't do any aging on these tags. I just left them how they were. A little bit up there. So there we have it. All stained, ready to go. You can even go up into the image a little bit if you want. Because you can get some of those cracks that you have. You can just tone those down just slightly. And that's it, really. This was a really fun project, and I'm happy with how it turned out. I'm going to be doing a peddler's fair here in first week of October, and so I wanted to get a bunch of stuff made. So I will be working on several other projects, and please check back and see what else I'm doing. I'm super excited. And I'm really glad that you took the time to watch my video. I'm a new YouTuber, and I'm trying to get started here, and I really want to share my work with everybody. And so yeah, there they are. I think that's it. We got everything on there pretty good. So yeah, a lot of fun. if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. I will check back and see if there's anything I can help you with or any questions that I can answer. I have a lot of experience doing crafts and craft shows, farmers markets, peddlers fairs, and so I have a lot of experience with that. If you want to know what is the best venue to do where you get a lot of good response from people, just put it in the comments and I'll be happy to help. But thanks again for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Please like and subscribe for more projects. Thank you. Bye.